Welcome to the Cryptosphere. This is Cryptogenic coming at you. Today is Tuesday, June 21st at 8:11 p.m. here in sunny Hawaii. It is beautiful here on the island of Maui, and had a wonderful, wonderful time today, although busy. Wanted to follow up on yesterday's video. I know in yesterday's video I used the word bull run and got some folks excited about it. Just wanted to remind you in this video that unless we see a big green volume bar right here, it's not time for the bull run. The point of yesterday's video is that if this is the bottom, the bull run has begun. But that's a big if. That is a big if. And so what I've been expecting this week is to see a green volume bar forming here without a solid green volume bar. We haven't reached the bottom yet, folks. If by the end of this week we don't see a big green bar here, the bottom is not in. Which means we're going to take a swipe, very likely, at the 16,700 mark. And honestly, it could get as bad as about $11,000. Now, what is that $11,000 mark? Well, number one, that retests a previous high over here. But number two, every time in the past we've had a major Bitcoin correction, twice we've seen it drop more than 80%, 83 to 86%. So if we dropped 82.56%, that would take us down to 11,500. As we can see here, we dropped 84%. And if we go all the way back here, the number was 87%. So if we were to drop that far, it would take us all the way down to $11,000. First thing I'd like to say is that a short is just as good as a long. Both of them can make you money if you understand the market. Second thing I would like to say is even if you're not in the game of shorting, you're just in the long game, that's no problem too, because what $11,000 would do is give you an opportunity to make a buy of a lifetime. When it was up here at $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, it was way too expensive for you, way too expensive for me. But if it comes all the way back down to 11,000, it's like a reset, a major reset. I can pretty much guarantee you that the money is going to flood in from every direction, every which direction you could possibly imagine. And if it does go down that far, I expect it to happen like a bolt of lightning. It'll drop and it'll recover. It'll just be a long wick that will be bought all the way back up, close to the 16,000 mark probably. So if you plan to buy it that low, if it even drops that low, I'd probably have some buy orders waiting down there. If we take a look at this daily chart, the question is, what's happening? We're in recovery here, but look at the volume. The volume is decreasing, not increasing. I mean, this was the bottom here in terms of the local bottom, 17,000 something. But after that, we saw a drop off in volume. We needed to see bigger green candles here. We're not seeing them yet. Same thing here on the 4-hour chart, and what we can kind of see on the 4-hour chart is that the RSI has been in recovery. Really, the RSI hit the bottom on June 22nd, even though the price didn't hit the bottom until, I'm sorry, the RSI hit the bottom on June 13th, even though the price didn't hit the bottom until June 18th. So we had some, hidden bullish divergence there, which is great, signifying a recovery, and sure enough, on the 4-hour chart, we saw a recovery there, meaning it did not keep going down, which is great. But now we're making lower highs here, probably forming something of a triangle, some type of a wedge here, which is fine. At some point, I expect us to break above the wedge and retest this 22,000 region here, which would correspond with the retest of the 200-week moving average. So yes, I'm expecting a retest of the 200-week moving average. We see that on the daily chart. Actually, I didn't put a line there where we would expect that to happen. Somewhere around here, retesting that line. That corresponds with what we see here in the candle patterns in the 4-hour and what we see with the moving averages on the weekly chart all as well. But in this video, I want to talk about Bitcoin dominance because I started talking about this yesterday, that we're seeing hidden bearish divergence on the Bitcoin dominance chart. Highs are all about the bearish. So when you're looking at bearish divergence or hidden bearish divergence, you're looking at the highs. Those are the two types of bearish divergence. So if you're making higher highs on the price and lower highs on the RSI, you're looking at classic bearish divergence. But if you're making higher highs in the RSI and lower highs or flat highs in the price, that's hidden bearish divergence. And that's what we're looking at here in the price. I mean, yeah, we're looking at here on the dominance chart. The weekly dominance chart is hidden bearish divergence. Now, if we zoom in a little bit to the daily chart, what we can see, now this is interesting. Look at the RSI. The RSI is near the top. I'm expecting one more swipe of the top here, which would correspond on the daily chart to one more move up to the top here. And on the 4-hour chart, looks to me like the RSI is already topping out. We had an ascending wedge here that we've broken down bearish out of. I think what will probably happen is the dominance chart will come back down and revisit 4308, which on this chart is simply a test of the top of the whole suite indicator. It's only 2% below where it is, but then it should recover, and move upward. And what I expect is the RSI here to recover and move upward. And simultaneously, I think what will happen is here on the weekly chart, we should move upward within the next 2 to 3 weeks, retest this before we finally break down, just like the RSI should come to the top and then break down. And when that happens, when we see this breakdown here in the RSI, Bitcoin dominance breaking down, this means, by definition, that the money is flowing into the altcoins. So I expect this sometime between now and the end of August. I expect Bitcoin dominance to top out and break down. Sometime between now and the end of August. And what that will give us is a 3 to 5 month period in which the altcoin market will do better than the Bitcoin market. But that begs a question because, I mean, are we going to call this alt season? Well, first of all, we're talking about, let's level set here, all right? So we're talking about a 25 to 33% drop in Bitcoin dominance. Let's call it 25, 26%, okay? Here what we saw was a 45% drop in Bitcoin dominance. That's an alt season where basically half of Bitcoin's money goes to the altcoins. So we're not looking at that kind of alt season. I mean, maybe if we go all the way to the bottom, 33, it's still not as crazy as that one was. I mean, we look at this this little season right here, where in a few weeks, Bitcoin dominance lost 50%. So we're not looking, I just don't see that in the chart. I mean, it could be, but I don't see anything like that in the chart. However, in the past, when we have seen these breakdowns in Bitcoin dominance, basically what's happened is the altcoins are exploding because Bitcoin has topped out. But this is the opposite right now. Bitcoin's bottomed out and is threatening to break down lower. And we're expecting, at least I'm expecting, the altcoin market at a certain point in the next 70 to 90 days to take over. So first data point is the altcoins don't take off unless Bitcoin is topped out. But we're not expecting Bitcoin to top out in the next 70 to 90 days. Not by any intent, not by any stretch of the imagination. But secondly, when you see a drop in Bitcoin dominance, that means the altcoin market is, by very definition, outperforming Bitcoin. So what could this mean? I think this is new, and I've got to study it more, but this is something different, where we're going to see in the middle of Bitcoin's consolidation crash pattern, whatever you want to call it, the altcoin market goes on a little run here, anywhere between 25 and 33%, which is substantial. How do we quantify that? What do we do with that? I don't know, folks, but all I know is that we're going to watch it, and I like it. I mean, I like what that means for the altcoins. But I just thought I'd give you a teaser on this because I plan to come back and cover it in more details later. But listen, folks, I want to thank you so much for watching. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do me a favor and hit that like button if this content has made sense to you and added to your life. Leave me a comment. I really appreciate your comments. I enjoy your comments. I read every single one of them. I try to respond to all of them as well. And above all, make it your aim to sleep in peace every night, wake in joy every morning, and walk in love every day. This is Cryptogenic signing out.